Good afternoon and welcome. Welcome indeed, yes, to a Wednesday edition of the Mark Mosey Show podcast. As we're always broadcasting from the Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Take back control of your life. Call them today. This is very key, even though it's super hot outside. Yeah, call them. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. It's Anidjar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Now, I wanted to come on here for I believe, a Wednesday to discuss the latest on the Tampa Bay Rays' proposed new stadium. But no, I can't. Because all of a sudden, as I'm doing all these things behind the scenes, I saw an update on ESPN. And the update was starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, Tua Tagovailoa, is injured and out of practice so far to start training camp. He can't even get through the first day of camp. He can't even do that. And then the Falcons update, well, Michael Penix, the guy we drafted a couple years ago in the first round, he's also out and not practicing with the team. They have an undrafted rookie who's taking reps right now to start training camp. And the Falcons have decided they've signed veteran quarterback Cooper Rush so that someone could be part of the roster after a while. And I just want to say this. If you're the Miami Dolphins and you're the Miami Dolphins fan base, you should be very happy that this past offseason, with this new front office, you finally ripped the Band-Aid off and you got rid of Tua. I think you made the right decision. He can't stay healthy. He can't stay on the football field. What's that joke they always say? If you have two quarterbacks, you have zero quarterbacks. Well, seriously, the Atlanta Falcons have zero quarterbacks right now. And maybe with all those high-powered things they have on offense, where you look at Bijan Robinson and, you could just go on and on. Drake London at wide receiver, all these guys, Kyle Pitts at tight end, all these weapons, they still don't have a quarterback. There's flashes where Tua looks good, but then there's other ones where he's throwing picks and he can't stay healthy. Same thing with Penix. Penix at times looks like a guy who could become a star in the NFL. Other times, can't stay on the field. The Falcons have no quarterback play. They got weapons. They got no one under center who can get them the ball. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just, overhyping this story as we're coming to the end here in July, but it's first couple days of training camp. Falcons are in trouble. They don't have a quarterback. They don't. Heck, they should have just kept Kirk Cousins in the long run. They should have just kept him after a while. But I think this is good for the Dolphins. The Dolphins moved on from Tua. It was the right decision. I've been here so long. I remember when it was tank for Tua, where 2019, you had this team that was so bad, and they're like, look, we are just going to bottom out. Hopefully we get the first pick, and we're going to get Tua. Again, tank for Tua. They didn't get the first pick. Cincinnati did. So the pandemic draft, 2020. They're number 5, and they decide we're taking Tua. And they did. They took him. Even though Brian Flores is like, no, don't do it. Don't draft him. And in the long run, Brian Flores was correct. Justin Herbert was picked at 6. He's not done anything in the postseason, but hey, at least he can stay healthy. At least he's out there trying to win games. They went with Tua. There were flashes, and I like on Twitter the other day, they were like, hey, remember like 3 years ago when the Dolphins offense scored 70 points on Denver? Wasn't that awesome? It was. I remember coming on the air the next day, that Monday, saying this is a Super Bowl contender. And then it wasn't. That was the height of the Tua experience. When he dropped 70 points in a regular season game. He had Tyreek Hill. He had Jalen Waddle. He had all these weapons. And they're scoring like crazy. And again, can't get it done. They made the playoffs multiple times with Tua. 0 playoff wins. Then after a while, he couldn't stay healthy on the field. He couldn't. And I think if you're a Dolphins fan, you don't want Tua to fail. You don't want him to lose. I think you still kind of like him. He's a likable guy, but he's Atlanta's problem now. And he can't stand. Not only can he not win, he can't stay healthy on the field. And the Dolphins this year, hey, they got Malik Willis, a guy who's played like, I don't know, 3 or 4 games, it feels like, for the Green Bay Packers over the last couple of years. They're having him as the starter. Hopefully he's more durable than Tua, and we'll see what happens. I think personally, I know you have Achane, the big contract. I think they're going to be a terrible team this year. I think we're right back where we were in 2019. I think you're going to tank for someone else. I think I'd go for Arch Manning. I think they're going to tank, they're going to be terrible, and they're going to be top 3 in the NFL draft. Or maybe you're looking at Dante Moore out of Oregon, maybe Arch Manning out of Texas. That's how I'm looking at it. But Tua, again, couldn't make it through the first practice, and he's already out. He's already out. He's not going to play. Again, you have 2 quarterbacks, you have 0 quarterbacks. Good job with Atlanta. That's why when I look at the NFC South, who's the favorite? Carolina. Carolina won it last year with a losing record. Should have beaten the Rams in the playoffs. Is it the Bucs who just tailspin to end the year? And we're now Baker Mayfield's going to play out his contract and then maybe become a free agent. Vita Vea wants to get traded. There's no more Mike Evans. Do you really believe in the Buccaneers? What about the Saints? Tyler Shuck. Hey, they played great down the stretch. They were probably the best team down the stretch in the NFC South. I'm going to say this right now. I think 8 or 9 wins is going to win that division again, the NFC South. Don't go high. If they're telling you in Vegas, all right, give me the Bucs to win 9+ games, I don't know. I don't think that's possible. It's going to be fascinating. But if you're Atlanta, hey, good luck with no Tua. Good luck with no Michael Penix. And maybe Cooper Rush will be your starter opening game of the season. We'll find out. But I'm happy at the end of the day, whatever happens this year for the Miami Dolphins, I'm happy they got rid of Tua. It was time to move on. Couldn't stay healthy. And then by the end, when he did, he's throwing interceptions to the other team. All right. I put this on Facebook this morning. We have a special going on right now for the fall football season. It's my marketing advertising special. It goes on now until next Friday. That's right. The 7th. You want it? Great deal here in Central Florida. Email me, call me, find me on social media. I'll put the link in the description. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow right here on the Mark Moses Show.